Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahabushai, Bahasham, Barakahak Wadash, Barakatum. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, glory, and infinite honors to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahabushai. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who ruled and teach well. In peace and salutations to you sincere Akim out there, pushing this word in truth and sincerity to the four corners of the globe. May you brothers endure to the end. This is the brother Ra'aya coming at you with another lesson. I'm going to start it off in Isaiah chapter 19, verses 16 to 17. In that day shall Egypt be like unto women. And this isn't speaking about ancient Egypt, but spiritual Egypt in Revelation 11, verse 8. The United States of America, especially you American Edomites, or so-called white people. And it shall be afraid and fear because of the shaking of the hand of Yahweh of hosts, which he shaketh over it. All these judgments, these plagues and these calamities that Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shah is going to bring upon America. Famines, pestilences, civil unrest, race wars, martial law, you name it. Verse 17, and the land of Judah shall be a terror unto Egypt. And the tribe of Judah, the southern kingdom, are the so-called Negroes, so-called blacks, African Americans today. And as it says, the land of Judah shall be a terror unto Egypt. Everyone that maketh mention thereof shall be afraid in himself because of the counsel of Yahweh of hosts, which he hath determined against it. There's going to come a time when Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shah is going to put a spirit on the tribe of Judah to come against, you American Edomites. And, you Edomites talk a big game, but, your deepest fear in your heart of hearts is, so-called black people rising up and coming against you. And, the stage is being perfectly set for that squeeze, from, the whole SNAP situation and the government shutdown to, just Jake getting fed up with Esau, just showing his hatred towards him, especially with Trump in office, for Judah to lash out like that lion, which brings me to the article I'll be going into in this lesson from endtimeheadlines.org titled Black Woman, so-called Black Woman, Judite woman threatens to hunt down, roast, and eat so-called white people, Edomite people, if government assistance is taken away. But according to prophecy, Judah is definitely going to be a terror unto Egypt. As the U.S. government shutdown stretches into its 29th day, federal food assistance teeters on the brink of collapse, sparking viral outrage. In a disturbing video, a Judite woman unleashes a graphic threat against Edomite Egyptians, Edomite Americans, vowing to hunt you down and roast you and eat you if aid vanishes. The unnamed woman addresses the white man, declares, I'm here to let you know that we are going to eat regardless, even if we have to hunt you animals down and roast and eat you. The delectable crackers and cheese. We will make it happen if we have to. Trust and believe. She frames the crisis as a wake-up call for black self-reliance. And if it takes this government shutdown for so-called black people to finally come from under the government and understand that we don't need to be paying our taxes into this government. So, when you look into the clip, she's relating, hunting down and eating Edomites as a, I guess a metaphor for so-called black people saying, look, we're going to eat regardless and we don't need that government help. But again, according to prophecy, the tribe of Judah is going to come against you Edomites. And, when Judah does anything, the rest of the other tribes follow. So the northern kingdom's going to get in on coming against you Edomites as well. But on the other hand, there will actually be cannibalism out here on the streets of America. That's also a part of prophecy. But before we continue, I'm going to go to Genesis chapter 49. I'm going to read verses 8 to 9. Judah, thou art he whom thy brethren shall praise. Judah's the head tribe, and, all the other tribes, follow suit behind Judah. Thine hand shall be in the neck of thine enemies. The tribe of Judah in the midst of their enemies, chiefly you Edomites. And when you have your hand on somebody's neck, hey, that's a violent action. And you shaking them around and have them at your mercy. Thy father's children shall bow down before thee. Judah is a lion's whelp. From the prey, my son, thou art gone up. He stooped down, he couched as a lion, and as an old lion, who shall rouse him up? And an old lion at the end of his life, he's sluggish. He ain't out on the hunt like that anymore. But as it says, who shall rouse him up? All these different factors coming down the pipeline is fuel for Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai putting that spirit on Judah, who's been an old lion, for all this time. Jacob talk a big game, but then Esau come with, benefits or, goodies, or, somebody will get on the news and apologize for all the crimes they did to keep, Judah pacified. But it's getting to the point to where the words and the goodies, which the goodies are going to get taken away with, aren't going to pacify that old lion, and he's going to be raised up as that lion's whelp, that fierce young lion, and being a terror unto the land of Egypt. So, even though this this lady's bugged out saying all this stuff, she's slick side prophesying, because all these things will come to pass. What we really need to be doing is taking care of one another, buying land and growing our own food and building our own nation, which, Jake already tried to do that. Black Wall Street, Rosewood, all these different communities Jake built up. But then what? Esau came down and burnt them and took the land and took the resources. This place was never meant to be our rest. If this government shutdown and starvation is what it's going to take, then let the party begin. It's black power, baby, and we rise. Dismissing dependency narratives, she adds, Judite Americans, which, I'll just say Judites, do not care about your government shutdown. And Judites do not care about you taking away our EBT and our government assistance, because Judites never depended on the Egyptian government to take care of us and feed us, because we never could. I guess I'll play the clip. Fair use copyright disclaimer. I do not own any of the footage in this video, nor do I stand to gain from it monetarily. It is simply for educational purposes.
I just wanted to come real fast just to make this video, just to make something very, very clear to the white man. Black Americans do not care about your government shutdown, and Black Americans do not care about you taking away our EBT and our government assistance, because Black Americans never depended on the American government to take care of us and feed us, because we never could. We were never able to depend on the government, in spite of what you may say and what you may try to force us to believe. So you can sit back and you can mock, you can laugh, and you can think that you're about to starve us to death. But I'm here to let you know that we are going to eat regardless, even if we have to hunt you animals down and roast and eat you, the delectable crackers and cheese. We will make it happen.
Hey, Judah shall be in the neck of his enemies.
We have to trust and believe me. And if it takes this government shutdown for Black people to finally come from under the government and understand that we don't need to be paying our taxes into this government, what we really need to be doing is taking care of one another, buying land and growing our own food and building our own nation. If this government shutdown and starvation is what it's going to take, then let the party begin. It's Black power, baby, and we rise.
Yeah. But yeah, hey, on top of, Judah coming against the land of Egypt, it's going to be a free-for-all with these race wars out here, with everybody going against everybody, which this is Matthew chapter 24. I'm going to read verse 7. And, this is Yahushua, the Son of the Most High, whom the world ignorantly refers to as so-called Jesus, telling his disciples of the things to look for, to know that, His second coming was at hand, as well as the kingdom of heaven, and the heathens ruling was coming to an end, which, we are currently living in these times, the last seconds of the last days. For nation shall rise against nation. And when we get that word nation in the Strongs, it's G1484, ethnos, which, what does it say? A tribe, a nation, a people, a group, and ethnos sounds like ethnicity. So what? One race against another, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines, which, keep that in mind, and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places, which all these things are either in the process of happening or happening as we speak. Verse 8, all these are the beginning of sorrows. Hey, we're just in the beginning stages right now. People can still get food, they still have electricity and their other creature comforts, and they're already bugging. Imagine how much more when those things are completely cut off and you can't come by them. This is Isaiah chapter 13. I'm going to read verses 14 to 16. And it shall be as the chaste roe, and as a sheep that no man taketh up. They shall every man turn to his own people clicking up with their tribes, their respective nations, and getting out of that we are the world equality spirit, and flee everyone into his own land, which, you already got a lot of, foreigners starting to leave this country because they see that the economic situation is dire. You've even got a lot of Americans themselves starting to flee. Everyone that is found shall be thrust through. You're not found amongst your own people, but amongst another nation. And everyone that is joined unto them, joined unto another nation, but especially you still trying to be joined unto these Edomites, shall fall by the sword, get put down permanently. Their children also shall be dashed to pieces before their eyes, children getting deleted. Their houses shall be spoiled, home invasions, and their wives ravished, women getting raped out here. So, hey, these race wars are going to pop off on the streets of America. And, you can already see the tension building. All these Jakes, showing up, hanging from trees and other things all across the country. And that whole psyop with, Captain Kirk and that Ukrainian girl on the train getting these Edomites in an uproar. And as we just saw in that clip, even though Eve was bugging, she was slick side prophesying, saying, hey, we're going to hunt you Edomites down and eat you like the cheese and the crackers. Which brings us to the next part, the famines, which are coming as well. So let's continue. We were never able to depend on the government in spite of what you may say and what you may try to force us to believe. So you can sit back and you can mock and you can laugh and you can think that you're about to starve us to death. The videos circulating widely online amplified tensions over the shutdown's impact on SNAP benefits and EBT cards. Related footage captures further chaos. In another clip, a woman confronts a security guard amid potential looting, warning, I would hate for you to not be able to make it back to your family and for you not to be able to make it back home because you're trying to save the billionaire companies. When all this shit is over, you either will be here or you won't. Hey, for the majority of you people, when it's all said and done, you won't be here anymore. I'm just going to say that. Either you're going to make it out or you won't, because people are not going to let you come in between their kids' next meal. She prophesies, perfect word, unleashed fury. You're about to see the beast come out of a lot of people that didn't even know that they had that in them. And hey, what did they say? Everybody's about 2 to 3 meals away from a revolution. A third video features a woman musing on home invasions. She wonders aloud what you would do if she broke into your house to steal your food. As WND reported Tuesday, another individual out of food stamps brags about pilfered groceries and urges mass theft. Everything out here is yours. Whether or not you take it, they call the shit free will. I call that shit eminent domain. You know what I'm saying? One thing I learned from the Edomite man, take it. But hey, remember what it said back in Matthew 24:7, that there would be famines as well as nations rising against nations. And as this clip said, a third video features a woman musing on home invasions. She wonders aloud what you would do if she broke into your house to steal your food. This is 2nd Esdras chapter 15 in the Apocrypha, verse 19. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword. Home invasions, which as we also read back in Isaiah 13, that they shall spoil their houses, but shall destroy their houses with the sword. And that main sword in America is the gun. And spoil their goods because of the lack of bread, food shortages, famines out here, and for great tribulation. So, a lot of those points being made in that article, hey, they line up perfectly with biblical prophecy. And not only is there going to be home invasions due to food shortages and famines, but it's going to get so bad out here to where cannibalism is going to come back in a big way. This is Isaiah chapter 9. I'm going to read verses 19 to 20. Through the wrath of Yahweh of hosts is the land darkened, and the people shall be as the fuel of the fire. Ultimately, these Americans getting burned up by those nuclear missiles when they hit this place. No man shall spare his brother. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor. And, as Henry Kissinger said, if you want to control the people, control the food. Hey, you can get anybody to do what you want, or you get people in a desperate state when their stomachs are touching their backs and they're starving and they got to watch their loved ones starve. As that lady said back in that article, you're going to see the beast unleashed. People that never thought they had it in them, hey, it come out of them. But wait, there's more. And he shall snatch on the right hand and be hungry, and he shall eat on the left hand, and they shall not be satisfied. They shall eat every man the flesh of his own arm. And your flesh and your arm can represent your family members, your loved ones. So what? People are going to be eating other people, even eating family members. You got a lot of these so-called black women out here with multiple kids, and if they're starving and ain't able to feed those kids, hey, those kids are literally going to be their next meal ticket. And then also it can go into people literally eating the flesh off of their own bodies because they're just so bugged out and hungry. But now I'm going to close it out in 2nd Esdras chapter 15, verses 57 to 58. Thy children shall die of hunger, famines, and thou shalt fall through the sword. These race wars taking place out here, civil unrest, martial law. Thy cities shall be broken down, and all thine shall perish with the sword in the field. They that be in the mountains, these people with these bug out locations, these preppers, if the spirit of Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shah is not dealing with you, or you're an Israelite of the elect, which is the only way you're going to have the spirit of the Lord dealing with you. It doesn't matter how much you've been prepping and stacking up, you're still going to get it. They that be in the mountains shall die of hunger, and eat their own flesh, and drink their own blood, for very hunger of bread and thirst for water. Cannibalism. So that's it with this video. With this video, I hope you sincere Akim and Akwat were edified. And remember what Eve said. We're going to eat you like crackers and cheese. So as always, I'm going to say Abba Babal, Kwam Yasharala, and until next time, Shalom.